tayo.
I know, right? Oh my God, how's everyone? How are you, Jcas? Kumusta?
Naglalagablog po ang aking kilikili ngayon dahil walang AC dito sa aking
Oh
sala.
my God, it's so hot. Today
It's
is really,
summer.
it's
Summer
summer,
na
yeah.
summer.
I think, wait, is it, when is the official date of summer? Is it today?
Is it? I thought it already started.
I don't know. It's whatever. It's
I
around
I
June.
always try to remember it and then I forget,
I
like
know. It's
the
okay.
start
I
and
feel
the
like
end.
summer starts when we start feeling that our armpits are sweating. That means it's summer. And we can wear our pek shorts, yun na yun. So it's summer.
And have our pek hangout, yes.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Oh my God. So how's everyone? But before we, of course, we introduce our very special guest. English po kami ngayon because our very special guest is not Filipino. But anyways, teka, kumusta muna? Hi everyone! Kumusta po sa buong Pilipinas na nanonood? Good evening po sa inyo. Ay, hindi. Good morning, Pilipinas! Good evening, USA! And Jcas?
Good morning po sa lahat ng ibang mga time zone sa sulok ng mundong ito na kinalalagyan natin na hindi tayo masyado makalabas. Enjoy lang,
I
okay?
know. Okay. So I'm so excited with our special guest for tonight. Actually, it's funny because he's not Filipino. He is Dominican, but he was born and raised in New York City. But guess what? My God, this kid can cook all the Filipino food you can think about. Ganun kagaling to.
Mukhang mas Pinoy pa nga sa atin.
I know. I feel like I know when we had a talk, like, mamaya nakakwentuhan ko kayo. Like, we've had a talk, like, sobra talagang. He was talking about a lot of things about Filipino culture and how much he loved our culture. So, sobrang, we're so excited, and my God, Jcas. Pati yung favorite ko na, ay, hindi ko pala favorite yun. Basta, mamaya niya ikukwento yung isang favorite ng lahat for sure. Tipong niluluto niya yon. By invite only as well. Okay, guys? And ito, yes.
Batiin din natin yung mga early birds, ha?
Yes, our early birds also. Oh, hi, Bert is here.
Hello, Bert.
Lally. Hi, Lally. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Oh, Jenny Umali. Yes, I love backpack shorts too. Yes.
Hi,
Darwin
Jenny.
Galimas here. Okay. So anyways, oh, by the way, yesterday, just a quick chit chat lang. Yesterday, we went for first time that we did crabbing actually in New Jersey. As in, we were in a pontoon boat for like 6-7 hours, and 4 hours or 5 hours, I think. And we catch a lot of crabs. And guess what? I think I have to ask our special guest, like, how can he cook our crabs, Filipino crabs, but infused with whatever he's doing right now. Yung tipong everyone loves that. So I want to make sure that he'll tackle that and teach us how to cook that crabs in so many different ways, different menus. Okay?
Dahil
So,
okay. I'm gonna ask him about yung crabs ko. Di ibang klase yung crabs ko, Makate.
Oh my God! Walang iya ka talaga. Napakawalang iya mo. So anyways, okay. So I will introduce our special guest for tonight, okay? Our special guest for tonight is a world-renowned chef who's been featured on different cooking channels and TV networks like NBC, Fox, as well as ABS-CBN and GMA7 in the Philippines. He's the executive chef of a prominent Filipino restaurant in New York City. He also recently judged on Viceland Bong's Appetit. He's one of the founder and executive chef of 99 Floor. Guess what? What's 99 Floor? Jcas, it's an elite invite-only dinner that serves his award-winning cannabis infused cooking. In short, food na may marijuana.
My
Oh my God,
yeah.
my juice. Okay. So FYI, guys, our guest for tonight is not Filipino, but he's truly Filipino by heart. So let's find out why he fell in love with Pinoy food and why he incorporated Filipino dishes to his award-winning menus. Guys, please welcome Chef Miguel Trinidad.
Welcome.
Welcome. Oh my God. Wait, so Miguel, Chef, you're drinking already, right? I mean, are you
absolutely.
Oh yeah, you've been drinking?
Oh no, I just started this. I was
just
working
started
all
it.
day long, came home and stayed up just for you guys.
Oh, thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Do you have any I don't know, like a wine glass again? Oh, what are you drinking?
Ooh, there you go.
I am drinking Chocolina, which is a
Oh, what is
Spanish
that?
wine. It's light,
Oh,
effervescent, great for summertime. It's just refreshing and delicious.
really? How do you wait, spell it? Chocolina?
Chocolina. Sorry, Chocoli.
Yes.
Here's a
Oh,
bottle. There you guys can see it.
Oh,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that expensive?
it looks like it.
It's about $20 a bottle, you know.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
It's not
bad.
mahal, but
I can
you know,
afford
It's not
that.
bad. Oh my
yeah.
God. Yes, it's not bad. You know what? We guys, come on. We will post it and definitely we'll try it, right? So
Yeah.
okay. All right. So before we ask you a lot of questions, for sure, a lot of your fans and the viewers want to know more about you. So we would like to welcome you first. Okay. So come on, sir. Raise your chocolina. Your chocolina. Your
Chocoli.
vino. Your
Chocoli.
Chocoli. Okay. So okay, to everyone in the Philippines who's watching in the Philippines and in the US, we would like to welcome Mr. Chef Miguel Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Hello.
Over a Glass
Over a
or
Glass or Two.
Two.
Cheers. Clink, clink,
Cheers.
clink.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh wow. Wait, that one chocolate does it taste like a fruity or no?
It's light. It has a lot of fruit nuances to it, but
Oh
it's
wow.
not extremely sweet and not
Okay.
too dry. It's like up on the drier side, but refreshing, great for this type of weather. You know, I know Jay
Okay.
is sitting in his apartment sweating his balls up, like you said earlier.
I know he was
So
saying that earlier.
Chocoli would be perfect for this right now.
Okay, so
Yes.
Jcas, you better buy it. You better, but I doubt it if they have it in like a
No, I don't think they have it in my
local
Brooklyn deli. No.
store.
I,
I know.
No,
You
you
think
know, it's
all
not
the
going to be in the cerveza section, but you know, you can
in
no.
the
still get it
cerveza section?
at any wine store. You'll be able to find some version of Chocoli.
Oh my God! All right, we will definitely try that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first question is, my God, I know you're from Dominican, right? But you were born and raised in the Philippines.
Oh,
I
negative. I was born. I'm from Dominican
wait.
Republic, and I was
Oh,
born and raised in New York City.
oh, okay. But
Yeah,
your family is originally from Dominican Republic. And
correct.
wait, I heard that you were born inside a yellow cab taxi. Is that
I,
true?
I want to hear the
I
details of that story.
How the heck did that happen?
well, you know, I'll tell you the details. It's like my mother broke water, hopped in a cab because she was giving birth. The
Okay.
cab was speeding to the hospital and got pulled over by the police. Right. When the police saw what was happening, they gave the cab an escort to the hospital, but I was out before we even got there.
Oh
Now,
my
I
God.
don't remember much about it. This is a story that my mother tells me. The only thing I
Okay.
remember is, you know, a bright light um, coming out. Okay.
Of
I was
course you
like,
don't remember.
what?
You're still inside your mom's womb. Okay.
And maybe the
Okay.
cab driver going, not in my cab, not in my cab.
I know. So wait. So who gave birth to you? Like, is that who gave birth to you? Who
The
pulled you
mother.
from who pulled you from inside your mom's? Like, I don't know. How do you say this? Should I
Hoo-ha.
say a
From the
Hoo-ha.
JJ?
hoo ha,
Who
from the
pulled you
hoo
out?
ha,
Yeah.
from the
Who
pookie
pulled you
pookie.
from your
Oh
mom's?
my God, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
I
say
don't want
Pookie
to even
here.
say that. Okay,
Yeah, we
fine.
can.
From your mom's spooky pookie. So who pulled you from your mom's spooky
There
pookie?
was nobody, you know. Mom had a very strong abdomen, so she pushed hard, and that was popped out. You know,
And that's it?
that's
Oh
it.
Oh, wow.
You
wow.
know, I don't have the details of the cleanup process because you know I
I
don't
know it's so
remember.
nasty, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's probably messy, and the taxi driver would have been like shaking his head and everything.
I know
Yeah.
it probably the taxi driver was just like, oh my God, who's gonna clean this up this time? Oh, but I bet you that taxi driver wait, does your mom still knows that taxi driver or not anymore?
Well, not anymore. I don't
Not
think we kept in
anymore.
touch. You know,
Oh,
she had
okay.
other priorities.
I know.
Like the baby, like
Yeah,
Miguel.
it's like the
Come
baby. It's like,
on.
oh, can I have your number? I'm gonna send you a tip.
I know, right? So, anyways, okay, so all right. So you were born in New York City, right? And you're originally, I mean, your family's from Dominican Republic. But
Mhm.
I'm so surprised. How and why did you started immersing to Filipino food? Because like in the beginning, when I found out, like, oh my God, you're the chef of Jeepney and now executive chef of Jeepney, I was like, and then when I found out, it's like, wait, he's not Filipino? Like I was like surprised. Like
Me
both of us,
too.
we were like
We were
shocked.
like,
Yes, so how
I mean,
did you end? Yeah, how did that happen?
Listen, it was just a being in the right place at the right time. I was the
Okay.
chef of a restaurant in Soho, and I met my business partner, and she had this dream, and I'm like, I thought I was going to cook Italian food. You know, this opportunity presented a cuisine that was unknown to the U.S. on a major level, and it was
Okay.
something that I didn't know much about. So I said, you know, why not give it a shot? Do something that nobody else is doing, and try to bridge the gap between cultures. And
Oh
that's
wow.
basically how it happened. You know, in the beginning stages, it was a rough R&D project where I was learning as much as I could about the food. I ended up traveling to the Philippines and backpacking for 3.5 months to really immerse myself in the food and the culture.
Oh
Came
wow.
back to the U.S. and we started off as a pop-up, and it gained such notoriety in a very short amount of time that it was well received, by Pinoys, by all types of cultures, and it just grew really quickly.
On you, right? So how do
Yeah,
you love it? Like I know that. Oh wait, how many times did you go back and forth in the Philippines before
I
you've learned, like the whole Filipino menus and food in different regions? I'm assuming.
well, I'll say that it's like many different cuisines. Like you're never going to learn all of it because there's so
Yes.
many provinces in the Philippines. There's so many different regions, and everybody, come on, 7,107 islands.
Oh.
Everybody's Lola makes the best adobo, and it's always slightly different.
Oh my
So
God, you're
you're
right.
never going to learn to everything. But I've been back and forth for about maybe 6 or 7 times. I've spent,
Oh wow.
if you total the time that I've spent there, it's probably about a year. But
In the
you know,
Philippines. Wow. Okay.
I was there for 3 months. I was there for 5 weeks. I went back for another four. Went back for two. So it's over extended period of times, over 6 years. It's been a quite a long time that I've been there, and I've traveled from the most northern point in Pagudpud all the way down to Tawi-Tawi in Davao.
Oh, wow.
wow.
So the food changes when you travel from
That's
region to
so
region.
true.
You
Yes.
know, up in Luag, it's like vegetable heavy. Central Manila, it's meat centric, and then as you go further south, it's all seafood. And if you go into Mindanao, it's a completely different cuisine because they don't even use pork, and there's different spices from the influence that comes from the Indian culture in Singapore. So it's constantly evolving. It's like when you travel to different regions, you see the original food of the Igorots in some of the provinces, you know, and then there's, an evolvement of flavor that has transpired through occupation.
Oh
There's a lot
wow.
of Asian, Malaysian, Japanese, Indian, American, and Mexican influence in all of the culture, and a lot of Spanish food. So for me, when I started even exploring this food, simple dishes like a caldereta took me back to Dominican Republic where we make our chivo guisao, and I'm like, wow, this is
Oh
different. The
wow.
only the only nuance that I'm seeing here is the addition of that liver sauce, which gives it that earthiness.
Yeah, yeah, the Reno. What is that? The
The
do you use
hígado.
the oh yeah, yeah, but do you use the what's that? The liver spread
The
in
canned
can
one.
Oh,
or
oh,
Yeah.
oh oh my
yeah.
God. So
That
funny.
you that
I've
is
been
so
doing this for 10 years, so I understand.
yeah, Jesse,
Exactly.
that's what I've been telling you. That is so impressive because, like in intro, I was saying, I
Exactly.
think he's more Filipino than us because now
I
hearing that you traveled from the northern tip to the southern tip, I haven't even done that myself.
I know. Plus, wait,
There's
I'm
still time.
surprised. What? There's still time. No, plus surprisingly too that you know, like the history of different food. Like we don't even know. We just love the kare-kare, the pinakbet, the the different types of the pancit, the lumpia. But you pretty much know the history. Like like, oh, on this province, they're the one who cooked this and that. Wow, I'm impressed. Have you learned any Tagalog words?
Oh well, there's a lot of Tagalog words. The o di ba, right? Tangina, things. I don't know
Oh,
if I
yeah.
can say that.
Yes, you can. This
Oh,
is
you
online.
can?
Yeah.
Bats and bakla. It's like you learn all the words.
Oh,
Just keep
wow.
you in a social setting, and you can be appropriate. Lolas and lolos, because I learned a lot from the lolas. I learned a lot from lolos.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot that I know. I understand more than I can speak it. So
Okay.
it's very important, when the lolas are like, he's not good, he's not Filipino, and but then they taste the food and they come back and they're like very good, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm
be
so
careful. Don't talk shit about me because I know what you're saying.
Exactly, right, Jacob?
We'll
cannot talk
try.
shit. Oh, no, we
We'll
cannot.
try.
We cannot. Yes. Wait. So what about I know you started you've learned, you've traveled in the Philippines, but what do you love about the Filipino culture, especially when you're literally in the Philippines and everyone there are Filipinos? So like, how can describe to us, like, what do you think is Filipino culture? Are
I
they
mean,
like,
it's,
ugh?
well, in every culture we have that, huh? You know, in every culture, it doesn't
Yes.
matter if it's Filipino, Latino, American, or whatnot. But what I love about the culture is that it reminded me so much of my own culture. Okay.
Yes.
Dominicans and Latinos are very hospitable, and there's a lot of
Yes.
Spanish
Yes.
influence in Filipino culture. Being in the Philippines, one of my favorite people, and I hope you're listening. It's Mike. He's a brother to me, and being in his home was just like being back in my family's house, right?
Oh
Because
wow.
the hospitality. It's like, what do you need? You sit down. It's like, oh, sit down, eat. It's like, no, I'm full. It's like just a little bit, right? And that little bit is, a massive bowl of rice and whatever is there, right? And it's like,
Oh,
drink some beer. They take care of you, and that hospitality really was heartfelt. It reminded me of being back home. It reminded me of what my mom and my family is like, and how we receive visitors, extranjeros, and show
yes.
them what our food is all about and what our culture is all about, without judgment, without pride, just love, de corazón.
Yes, yes. Oh my, I'm sure you were surprised too while you were in the Philippines. Like, you felt like you're a celebrity, right, you guys? Because most of the time in the Philippines, yeah,
Well,
because it's true though. If
we
it's
love our foreigners. Yeah,
it's true, like in the
that's what we
Philippines,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean like okay, a lot of my friends too that who've been to the Philippines and they're like, Jesse, wow, the treatment here, like we felt like we're celebrities, like like special treatment in there. I was like, I think it's because you're of course you're a person came from a foreign country, plus you don't look like us, right? Plus,
Uh-huh.
of course, the hospitalities.
Plus,
What?
you have dollars in your pocket,
Oh no.
which is conversion is larger there.
I
So
know, it's so true,
Listen, yes,
right?
there's dollars in our pockets, but I think it's the way that we're raised right, and we're taught to respect
Yes, you're
people
so
that
right.
are not similar, respect everybody. It's like we don't look at anybody differently. We accept them, and we want to show them what we're all about. It's like the hospitality in the restaurants in the Philippines. Ma'am
Yes.
sir, welcome, ma'am sir. You
yeah.
Oh my
know,
God.
it's
Well,
like
so,
can
do
I
you
get
do
you
that too?
another beer? And yeah, it's like whatever. It was great. It was wonderful. A lot like it's in the Dominican Republic.
I know. I've been to Jacobs. Have you been to Dominican Republic, to DR?
Not
Not,
yet.
yeah, I've been to DR twice, and I
We
love their
need to.
culture.
Mm.
The bitch needs to go to the beach.
I know,
Oh,
right?
you need to go. You'll fall in love with a Dominicano.
Oh
Okay?
my God,
Oh my!
Dominicanos are so
I
cuties,
mean, after
and
every
Dominicanas
when the coast is clear, I don't know if that's going to happen. Then we can
anytime soon.
we can travel, even if it's for next year. I just want to say, Miguel, when was this that you went the first time you went to the Philippines? What do you remember? What year? And then consecutively.
2009, 11, 13, right before
wow.
releasing the cookbook, in 15, 16.
So, because I was thinking maybe during that time, you could have probably, or maybe I'm wrong, or probably you did. You could have already done like a travel / cooking show, going to the
Yeah,
Philippines and
exactly.
documenting it, right?
Oh yeah, we could have. We were there the last time we were there when we were recording for the cookbook. Pulse Creative was with us.
Okay.
Monica Alvarez, and she filmed us, and that's documented somewhere. I can't tell you where, but
Okay.
yeah, we could have done a travel show and shown you all the different regions.
I know you could have, right? Like, especially if all you need right now is just a cell phone and that's it. Like, you don't need like a big cameras just like before, just a cell phone and a microphone.
They shot it already.
I know it's true, but that was like a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to Google that. Maybe I'll find.
I know, right?
You'll find some on the Maharlika YouTube channel.
Okay, there
yeah?
you go.
There was a few interesting experiences that happened, back in 2010.
2010. Oh, okay. Definitely, we will Google that one. But what about tell us about the cookbook, since that's actually our next question. But tell us about the cookbook. Is I Am Filipino, right? So,
right.
like how did you start? Like, how did you come up with that cookbook, and where can we buy it?
Well, you can buy the cookbook on Amazon. You can buy it in many different places. That major bookstore in the Philippines, which I can't remember, National, I think.
National Bookstore, yes.
Yeah, you can get it in National Bookstore. But this was, to pay tribute back to the Philippines and, the things that I learned, and my partner growing up there and her family and the heirloom recipes. It was a introduction to people who are not from that region or from the Philippines to understand what Filipino food was all about and to bridge the gaps between cultures. So it was broken down by regions, influence, cooking techniques, cooking with vinegar, liquid fire, the adobo section, cooking on a grill, how, and, doing all of that stuff. So it was breaking it down by regions, countries, not countries, but provinces, and showing the nuances between what an adobo, traditional adobo is, and what an adobo pula is, and an adobo dilao, and adobo pute, and the different meats that were being used in order to produce these different dishes.
Wait, can we read? Wait, can we read that on the menu? Like different types of adobo?
Oh, in the book, yeah, you're gonna see a bunch of different adobos: dilao, pula.
Oh my god, I want to buy that one. Okay.
What is it? I forget the word, but it's you can find it all in that section. Pute. It's like a double pute with pato.
With pato? Oh my god.
That's the first time I heard about that.
Oh wow!
There's a lot of things that I learned throughout my travels in the Philippines. Like adobo dilao it's more from the southern region, from Mindanao and Davao, where they're using turmeric instead of soy. So it comes out yellow and it's a completely different flavor, but yet masarap on every level.
Really, I didn't know. Wow!
What about the adobo with potatoes?
Oh, it's called vegetarian.
Oh, is that?
No. I mean, there's adobo. Then they mix the pork and the chicken with potatoes, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." So
and adobo with itlog.
Well, the hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled egg.
Okay, when they're adding potato and they're adding egg is because you have this much money and you need to feed this many people. So you add some fillers.
You know what? You got a very good point. Very good point. I should have thought about that like before. I'm like, oh, you're right. No, just kidding.
And the word adobo, correct me again if I'm wrong, it's like in here, going here in New York, I would find the adobo word in the Goya. It's a seasoning, but
right.
So it's like when I say adobo, we Filipinos eat adobo. I think Spanish people will look at me and they say, I think they're referring to what they're thinking of
The
this
adobo seasoning. Yeah, what's the
not
difference?
the
What's
dish.
the difference?
Well, in the Philippines, to adobo something is to preserve. So back in the day when there was no refrigeration, you can make an adobo. It can sit at room temperature for an extended period of time. Okay. When you go into Mexico and the Caribbean, adobo is completely different. It is also a curing process. If you take those spices in the Dominican Republic and put it on that meat and you let it sit at room temperature, it's not going to spoil. The same thing when you go into Mexico and you add, their form of adobo can also sit at room temperature for an extended amount of time. And as it sits, the flavors develop and meld and become more intense and more combined. So to adobo would be nice to adobar, to preserve things, to marinate, to cure.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
As you were speaking about and we're talking about food, my stomach is started like.
I can see it. Go like this. Go like this. Go like
Oh
this.
my
Okay.
God.
Oh, wow. But did you at least try to incorporate Dominican food to Filipino food on that a cooking book? Or it's
Absolutely.
just Oh, you did?
I will
Oh,
tell you this, and I will do it with the staple, right?
okay.
With your kanin, with that rice.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
It's very simple process. The way it's done in the Philippines, it's very delicious. But when we cook rice in the Dominican Republic, we add a little bit of oil, we add a little bit of salt. Okay.
Yes.
And for me, it was very important that that flavor, it's like that rice can stand alone. Because in many Asian countries, rice is a filler. It's to soak up the sauce, to soak up the flavor, whatever's left over. But where I grew up, it's like rice can stand on its own. Because when you're poor and all you have is rice and egg, that rice has to be delicious. Okay.
Yes, you're so right. Yes.
So I wanted to incorporate that. So in the cookbook, you will see that the rice is cooked the way that we would cook it back in my home.
But not fried
Oh.
rice. It's completely different, right?
Oh, see, well, fried rice is what you have when you have leftover rice, of course,
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh? When you're having your desayuno,
Oh,
when you're
you're
having
right.
breakfast.
Oh my
Okay?
God.
That's where all the silos come into place,
Exactly.
In Dominican Republic, we take that leftover rice and we make chow fan, which would be our version of fried rice, because there was Asian influence in the Dominican Republic that introduced us to different flavors, soy sauce and ginger and things like that. So there's a Dominican version of fried rice called chow fan, right?
Okay.
Peruvians will do it. You'll see it in Ecuador as well. So yeah, it's like nothing goes to waste when you're growing up in provinces and in third world countries.
Exactly. Yep. You have to make sure that you utilize every single food, like right ingredients, and every time there's like a leftover, you have to make sure that reuse it and reheat it and recook it again, right?
Yeah, turn it into something else when you have to.
Exactly.
Be creative. And speaking of growing up, okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm curious, okay, how was your childhood? How did you suddenly become? Oh, did you say, I want to cook?
I want to cook.
Yeah, I want to be a
cook.
chef when we're young.
Well, I had the pleasure of growing up in New York City. Okay.
Okay.
So growing up in a Dominican household, it's very much like growing up in a Filipino household. It's like you have your gambit of what the menu is going to be for the next year. It's a regurgitation of about 20, 30 dishes, right?
Okay.
I was very happy, but I was also curious by my surroundings. I lived in the Lower East Side, where south of where I lived was a densely Hasidic and Chinese community. If you went further north, you had Polish and Italian. There was a mixture of Dominican and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
There was Indian food, and I was really curious by all these senses that would, get excited whenever I walked through these different neighborhoods. I wanted to know what these spices were. I wanted to know what these flavors were. I wanted to know why there was a line in front of this small little bodega.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I was very curious. And I would go and ask questions. So I would try things like, in the Hasidic community, the Jewish community, rugula, which is, a pastry, or kugel, which is a noodle pudding. Go over to the Indian section, and it's like, what's chicken vindaloo, and what's this, and what's cardamom, and what's all these spices, and then the smoked meats from the Polish, and that always excited my palate. So I wanted to learn as much as I could about all the food around me. Now, being Dominican, my family was like, "Oh, you eat weird things." I'm like, okay, but how would that apply when we cook mondongo, which is our tripe?
Okay.
Dominicans make an amazing tripe stew that a lot of people would look at and be extremely polarized by it. Just like, they might look at balut and be like, no, right?
Okay, true.
Wait, the tripe is the inner lining of the stomach that looks like a towel. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a tripe.
Okay.
All right.
That's what we use for kare-kare.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I heard, what from our research, like you used to be before you became a famous chef, a renowned chef, like you used to do delivery and you studied photography.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
Yeah.
so how did you from, of course, doing delivery, and you wanna grow from there, but photography to being a chef? Like, tell us, how did that happen?
Well, when I was in high school and I went into college, it's like I wanted to study photography. Photography was the first thing that I found artistically that really drew me towards it.
Okay.
After, going to college and dropping out because tuition was too expensive and going to a vocational school, I started working in the field with modeling agencies, portraiture, but it was something that I really enjoyed, but it didn't drive me. I didn't dream about it. I didn't think about it all the time. It became as if it was just going to be a job, and I wanted more. I wanted to be more creative. I wanted to really make an impact. Food was something that always has excited me. It's like I am always going to try the new thing on the menu that I've never tried. I'm always going to try a new technique that is out and see how I can incorporate my own artistic form. Food is a living art. So you can make the best dish in the world today, and somebody can come and add one minor ingredient and change the whole dish, and it becomes something completely different. And that I fell in love with. A simple, roasted chicken can change in so many ways from so many different regions of the world. But it's still chicken.
It's still chicken. You're so right. Yeah. Oh wow. So aside from the cookbook that you wrote, like, when was that? Like 3 years ago? Was that 3 years ago?
The cookbook is going on 3 years that it's been released.
3 years, right? Okay, 3 years. What about, let's talk about our favorite topic. Like we were talking about it earlier. The cannabis, aka marijuana. Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a user. And JCAS, are you? I don't know.
I dabbled. I have roommate model roommates in here like the past few years, and they would use it day to night. I think they're like functional.
Functional.
You know what I call them? Functional potheads. That's why I call them.
The potheads. Yes, the potheads.
But when we do sometimes we drink in here, and they would pass it to me, and I would
once in a while.
I wouldn't know. But but definitely, is it my favorite? I'm always like, okay, wait, it makes me sleepy. I want to be the life of the party. So,
I know.
But I think I'm finding out that there's a strain right now that it doesn't make you sleep.
Yes, and it's because of the cannabis food.
Education is the key.
Exactly. So tell us, how did you start it? How did you come up with marijuana? Okay, fine. Let's just use the term, the social term, cannabis. The cannabis, food. You infuse the food with cannabis, with marijuana. So how did you start it with that?
Well, this is where 99th Floor came, and it was born. I met my partner, Doug Cohen, years ago, working on a project. He just happened to be the producer for this event, him and Mel Peralta. Dominican guy, Jewish guy, myself, I'm working with DJ Neil Armstrong, who happens to be Filipino. And the project was Neil was teaching people his skill, DJ, right?
Okay.
Neil used to be the tour DJ for Jay-Z. I am teaching him my skill. It's a trade of skills. This is where we met. And Doug and Mel came up to me and said, it's like, listen, we should do something together, right? Fast forward 3 weeks later, I get a call from them and they're like, hey, have you ever cooked with cannabis? I said, yeah, as a kid, I made brownies, I made cookies, I made sweets. They're like, how would you feel about turning this up and elevating it? I said, let's go for it. So, we went to LA, went to a grow, I had a crash course in cannabis, cannabinoids, the different strains, formats, wax, tinctures, shatter, all this stuff that can be incorporated into food. And then I was challenged to make a meal. And I said, all right, let's do it. And that was the birth of 99th Floor. Now, to everybody who's watching, there's a lot of people who have had a bad experience when it comes to cannabis and eating it. Right?
Okay.
Oh, really?
Really? Okay.
I haven't heard. Tell us.
Okay. Tell us.
It's strong. It's like you can't. It's a ride that you're just holding onto your seat, waiting for everything to end. So, I wanted to make sure that cannabis, like alcohol, can be respected. And our mission statement is to destigmatize cannabis through the universal language of food. And the way we do that is by microdosing. So imagine when you compare alcohol and cannabis, it's like you grab a bottle of wine, you're not going to drink the whole bottle of wine in one seating or one shot.
Okay.
Maybe you, Jay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miguel. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see you have your Esplanade. Okay. But with cannabis, it's like you want to enjoy like a bottle of wine. You're gonna have glasses throughout the night, and it's gonna change your mood. It's gonna enhance your experience. It's gonna make everything great. The thing about cannabis is that there's so many different strains, and this is something that I want to touch on later with you, Jay. There's so many different strains. These strains have different flavor profiles, very much like thyme, basil, cilantro, culantro, all the spices that you would incorporate into any meal that you're making. So taking those flavors and incorporating into a meal and creating something that's extremely delicious, at the same time, very low dose, so you feel great, is what we do at 99th Floor.
Ooh.
Why is it 99th floor? Is it?
Yeah. I was about to ask that. Why is it 99th floor?
I have an answer in my head, but I want you to answer it if it's
I
right.
know, me too.
Okay, I'm going to give you a simple answer. You're standing on the streets of New York City, and somebody says, "Look, up at the 99th floor. It's high up."
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
You
it's
get high.
because it's something with high. There we go.
Everything is
Oh.
high up, and there's a lot of people that cook with cannabis, and then there's 99th floor. It's an elevated experience.
Oh, I like that elevated.
An elevated experience. But okay, so I know also that we all know that 99th floor is by invite only, right? Like, so I really thought in the beginning that you have like a specific restaurant, like, like a stationary restaurant, like that everyone can go and make a
Penthouse.
restaurant. But how come there's none? Yeah, like tell us why. Why? I mean, we want to go.
Well, I'll tell you, it's simple. It's not legal in every single state.
Okay.
So, I travel the United States cooking these meals, for individuals, celebrities, private dinners. We cook in a lot of legal states, and in legal states, we're able to do more extravagant events. But in states where it's not legal, it has to be private. It has to be invite only. We only want people that are of like-minded body, who want to experience something with like-minded individuals and present them with something that can transform the conversation of negativity into positivity.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So if let's say invite only, right? So how, let's say for example, Jacobs and I, how can we be invited? And also, what about those potheads? Like, hey, I smoke like 3-4 times a day. Like I'm supposed to be there. Like, how can you discern that which one has to be in? I mean, can be in, and which one is you need to omit. So
Okay,
how do you
Okay.
discern that.
Before that, I want to ask is saying pothead, is that derogatory? Because I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, we say it casual conversation, but
I think
Yeah,
it's is it
kind of,
politically correct?
it's
no.
like in that line, right? So
It's like
yeah,
when the vision of a pothead is somebody who's just going to sit there and smoke pot all day.
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
And
yeah.
there are cannabis connoisseurs. There are people that
Very good.
use
That's
it.
better.
That's
Cannabis
better.
connoisseur. Okay,
Yeah,
and
there's people that
classy.
use it. Yeah, there you go. There's people
Classy.
that will use it throughout the day for anxiety, pain, um, stress, and whatnot. Right.
Yes.
When it comes to our events, our clientele is not the guy who wants to come in. It's like, oh, I can smoke a pound. I smoke a pound every day. It's like I get high. No, we're not looking for somebody who wants to experience the most high they can possibly be. We're looking for people that are novices to it, people that are connoisseurs, people that want to enjoy it and still be productive throughout the day. I'm not saying that potheads are not productive. What I'm saying is that we provide a different environment. We provide an elevated experience. It's like there's no smoking at our events. At our events, it's all about the food. It's all about the effects that you will have when it comes to ingesting cannabis and enjoying the ride that we provide for you.
Oh, so wait. So how can we like let's say for example, a lot of our viewers probably wants to be like, Jesse, oh my god, Jcas, Chef Miguel, we want to be invited too.
It's an experience. You
No.
know.
We want how can we be
Yeah.
invited? Like everyone that who wants to be in, how can they be invited?
Okay. So there's a strict screening process. In order to get down, you got to be down. Right. So you
Oh,
got to know somebody who has been to one of these events who will vouch for you.
oh, you can. I'm just
Let-
kidding.
well, it's like
We know you. We
a
know you.
speakeasy,
It's
right?
like a speakeasy. Yes, you have to know the secret
Oh.
knock, the secret code. You have to know the entry. It is not something that's open to everybody. It is limited. So if you get invited, you might be able to bring one. You can't, roll in like, Filipinos do with 15. It's like, we're
I
here.
know.
No, it
No,
doesn't work that
He has to be like,
way.
yeah, one or two.
It's
do that
very
in your
exclusive.
do that in your home. This is not that kind of party. You know.
Right.
Oh my god! So since it's a very exclusive, like really like invite only, so I'm sure a lot of people like mostly do comes in. Wait, who were invited are mostly affluent people, right? Like celebrities and Corey Miranda says, "I want to
Can
go."
us
No,
common
no,
can
no,
us
no.
commoners come there or
Okay.
by chance
Now, what about
whatever reason?
commoners
Yeah.
like us? Can we
Yeah.
go?
Okay, first, it's not all artistas and high end people. It's a mixture of people. So at
Okay.
one of the events, you might see somebody of fame, but you're also going to see the regular person around the corner. I've had people at my events from the age range of 21 to 83. Right? People who have never
Wow.
experienced cannabis and people who have been highly involved in the consumption of it. So it's a mixture of people. The thing is that it's a mixture of people who are professionals, educated, want a safe, controlled environment, and want to experience something that is on the verge of becoming mainstream. This is a pre-prohibition era. So everything that we do is to bring these people who are like-minded advocates and want to see this as legal as alcohol is.
Oh, so wait, so how can we invite it? Okay, just
I
kidding.
will invite you.
Okay, you will invite us. Okay. So wait, so what are this? If you don't mind us asking, I hope you won't mind. Like, what are the screening process? Like for this, for everyone. Like,
Do I
say
have to write
you
an
are.
essay?
Yeah. Do we have to write an essay? Do we have to like?
You have to write an essay. You have to know somebody who's been to the event. It's
Okay.
you just can't email and say I want to go and give me your bio. It makes no difference. Somebody who has been to an event, somebody who we know and we trust, will be somebody who will recommend you and invite you to this event. And that's across the United States. Like we want to make sure that the people who are there are like-minded and everybody's safe. Not somebody who's going to be a chicken head and wants to go ahead and go crazy. It's like I want to smoke weed and eat as much as
Yeah,
I can.
yeah.
No, not control.
Oh, so wait, so like all the food that is it like an a la carte or or do you have like a fixed menu?
Every dinner is different. So depending on the strain, very much like if you go to the farmer's market and you pick the best vegetables and you design a menu. When I design a menu for 99 Flora, it's based on the strain that I receive and what the flavor profile behind it is. And what I do with that strain, it's like once I inspect it, then I can tell you
Okay.
what I'm going to make with it and what will pair well with it.
Oh, does that include wine as well? Like wine, like the whole
You have alcohol in there
garlic,
too.
So we do the whole meal is we do an introductory cocktail, which is infused with the same strain. We do a 5-course meal, which is infused with the strain as well. The whole potency of the dinner is about 20 to 25 milligrams, which is a decent dose. It's a very low dose. It's controlled. It's released throughout, the evening in different ways, and it's absorbed through the body in different formats. For example, if I'm using a coconut oil that I've infused, it's going to go into your system a whole lot faster than if I took some beef fat and infused that and fried, my onions in that. So it's a controlled experience. And it's about 20 to 25 milligrams, enough to make you feel comfortable, enough to make you feel great. So you can enjoy this. There's no onset of paranoia. There's no uncomfortableness. You can still go out and go home and, or enjoy the evening. We don't promote over excess of alcohol because that does cloud the feeling. But we do offer wine with dinner, and we do offer an introductory cocktail.
Oh, wow.
And is there a time span, like it's only for 3 hours and everybody has to leave?
Oh, yeah, you have to leave. You can't stay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying,
3 hours, get out.
I because I was thinking, I was like, I know I'm interested in like about the food experience, but also the conversation that's gonna happen while everybody's like eating and experiencing the food.
The food and
As gradually everybody is experiencing it.
Oh,
it's a 5-course meal.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
There's a lot of friendships that are made. There's a lot of bonds that are formed, and there's a lot of conversations that I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear, because it's a lot of interesting people that come to these events. It's not open to the public. It's very selective and it's curated. And, I owe that to my business partner, Doug Cohen, and Mel Peralta. It's like they make sure that the people coming into our events are there for the vision and the mission statement that we're putting out.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's beautiful. I mean, the last one we did was pre-COVID, and it was 300 people. All black tie affair. Every event is different. It's an experiential experience. So we did black tie. The theme was, going all out. So people in tuxedos, and we had live jazz players and music going out throughout the whole event, mixed with a DJ who, played along with a cellist. And these are the experiences we want to give to our guests. We want to touch on all senses: sight, sound, taste, feel.
Oh my God, I really want to go to that event.
I know. I'm
It
so.
sounded so
You guys,
classy.
I'm watching you all with your mouth wide open while
I know because I was like,
Huh? Oh my
no,
God.
because I felt like I'm drinking a cocktail right now. When we were talking about just plain food earlier, I felt like I should have a pulutan in here. You remember what pulutan is?
Pulutan, yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
Of course he knows.
what you eat when you drink. And now we're adding cannabis to the equation. I was like, yeah, you're right. My mouth is salivating.
I know, right?
But I want to experience everything visually.
Yes,
My
I know.
senses.
Oh, by the way, Jaka said hi. Jkas, I'm sorry, Chili. I'm looking at
Oh,
Chili.
Chili.
Hello, Kelly.
Hi,
So
Chili.
much, Chili, for introducing Chef
Yes, thank you.
Miguel. Oh my God, to us. Oh my God, thank you so much. Wait, Chili really is dying to go. Chili wants to try.
Well,
There's
she
three
was
of us
invited.
now.
she's very persistent, and she got a ticket to the event, and then couldn't make it and pass it on to somebody else. So
I
know.
cannot
You
believe it.
understand.
Oh
Excuse
my
me. That's it.
God. So wait, how many times? Oh wait, Chrissy, we will ask your question in a few minutes, okay? So wait, so
Yeah.
how many times in a year do you usually have like that invite only? Let's say, for
Um,
example, in the whole US and also in New York City and
well,
Jersey, hopefully.
well, it's not going to happen in Jersey.
Oh, definitely. I don't
no,
expect. I'm like
no, not
okay.
until it's legal. I've done private events in Jersey, but
Mhm.
throughout the year we do anywhere between 15 to 25 events throughout the year, and it all depends on what our schedule is like. 'Cause sometimes like when I was on Bon Appetit, I was gone for a month, so we didn't have anything for 2 months. But we try to do at least 10 a year.
Oh, 10 a year. So what about this year? Do you have any? I mean, it's impossible because of the COVID-19. Everything is still uncertain. But do you have at least any plans, like hopefully by next year or end of this
Oh,
year?
absolutely. Right now, I've been working on a product line that we're going to release. Now that we're in the COVID era, everything has slowed down. So there is an uncertainty as to when things will pick up and when we will be able to do these events again. But in the meantime, we still want to provide this experience to people, may it be in, prepackaged foods or across states. I have a lot of clients that are medically based who ask for dinners that are curated to their medical needs. And that's something that we definitely want to promote.
Oh, wow. But can anyone purchase that or no?
Right now, it's private clientele.
It's private
So if there's
clientele.
anybody there who needs something, you can always DM me on 99th Floor on Instagram or Chef Migs NYC, and we can discuss how we can get something to you locally.
Locally. So that means we're locally too. He's from New York. I'm from Jersey City. So probably I cannot wait to what? Oh yeah. Direct one. So actually, that's my question. Is it expensive? Like
No,
say,
it's
oh
not
Jesse.
expensive.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
not.
if you want good food and you want experience, you're gonna pay for it, right?
Of course, yes,
If yeah,
definitely,
if you
definitely.
want to go to your Toro Toro, then it's like
Yeah,
you will pay the $8 for a
yes,
nice plate,
exactly. For
right? So
no, $8
what's
for
expensive?
two.
Expensive is relative, you know.
Exactly, it is relative. That's so true. Well, what about private events? Can they, let's say anyone, let's say who's watching right now in the Philippines or whenever they are, can they invite you for like a private events that you can cook cannabis food for them?
Oh, absolutely. Just private events. You can reach out to me again on Chef Migs NYC or 99th Floor for a
Wow.
private event. We travel all across the United States. We've done events in other countries. I've done cannabis dinners in Canada and the United States. So yes, we can definitely do that.
Wow, that's woo! I want to try it maybe one of these days. What about wait? So wait, speaking of you mentioned earlier, and was that when I introduced you earlier. Um, you mentioned also the Bon Appetit.
Oh yeah.
So can you tell us your experience about that? Because wow, that's like how long did you stay in that show?
Well, this was a show where they've been around for a while. This was the third season that I got invited to be a judge on. I was there for second season, and they asked me to cook a cannabis feast. I went there and I did a kamayan. Right? I did
Yeah.
a full-on infused kamayan for about 5 people on the second season of Bon Appetit
With
Wow.
banana leaves and all that.
with banana leaves and all of that.
The noodle
Right?
fight.
Yeah.
Wow. What was your menu?
If I can recall, there was a banana ketchup ribs, chicken adobo,
Ooh.
garlic rice, several other things that I can't even remember.
Oh my
Pookie
goodness.
Pookie, I think, was on it. You know.
Pookie Pookie.
No, I don't like that. No, bawal. Bawal for
No, it's not
He's
that one. It's
bakla.
not, you can have the Pookie Pookie. It's okay.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he's
no, no,
bakla.
no.
He's bakla.
On the
He
tip
can't
of the
have the
tongue.
Pookie Pookie.
By
Oh
the
my
wait, you mentioned banana ketchup ribs. The first time that I was in jeepney, I think, and when I was early on here in New York, I was like, oh my God, this is the bomb. And I was like, it wasn't just the food. I was literally like inside, the decor is like, it looks like a galvanized jeepney interior, right?
Yes.
And then there was a naked lady, like a porn Filipino star, and Techi Agbayani in there. Was like, okay, this is what they want. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then I also
it's
can't
one of a
forget
kind.
I can't forget the cocktail that's inside the one whole pineapple.
I know.
The Pinay colada.
Oh, the Pinay,
Yeah,
the Pinay
Pinay
colada.
colada, yeah.
Wow. Were you the one who started like incorporating all this food on their menu? Or
I mean,
it's a collaboration?
it was a collaboration, with all the owners,
Okay.
and it's like, ideas that everybody had, and it's like, we try to put it on and try to show, definitely push Filipino flavor, but also incorporate it in a way that it can be accepted visually. So just to give you an example, not to knock anything, but it's like I had these rice croquettes, which was like an arancini, right?
Yes.
And it's like, after in the morning you might wake up and you might take some kaning and bagoon and mix it together, put an egg on it, and boom. So it's like I said, let me take this rice with the bagoon and make a rice ball out of it. And just to see the look on people's faces when they took a bite, and we were giving them away to people, like when you walk into a restaurant and they give you bread and they take that bite and they're like, oh, you know what? This reminds me of when I was a kid and we would take the rice and bagoon. I'm like, yeah, but now it's a little croquette. So to people that don't understand or might be polarized by the scent of bagoon, it's like they see an arancini and they eat it and they're like, oh, this is interesting. And this is a format of bridging the gaps between cultures.
It's so true. Did you ever try to incorporate infuse Filipino food with cannabis?
We did that on Bong Appetit when I did the Kamayan dinner.
I mean, no, what I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah.
is like in your 99th floor.
The 99.
Yes, I
99
have done.
99 floor.
Yeah, I have done some Filipino food in 99th floor. I've done many different cuisines.
Really? Oh my God. I would like to try that. So, right, Jcas? Like maybe what about wine? Did you ever try to, like or maybe a sangria? Did you ever try to, to infuse a cocktail with cannabis? Have you ever tried that?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's like when people show up at our events, we offer them a introductory cocktail that we infuse. So they have a cocktail that's already infused very lightly, just to loosen them up.
Nice.
And let me just go back to Bong Appetit. I watched. I wasn't able to finish it earlier, but one of your episodes in season 3, it's with Dale Taldi, another proud Filipino. Yeah, it's a Pinoy Pride episode, and I was like, at first I was like, I thought like, do you have to be cooking with CBD and all that to be in the show? And then it was explained that they don't. It was like an introduction to them too, and I saw you even for that episode. Even Miguel taught one of them how to put it in the marijuana leaves in the blender, and it's like pesto.
Yes.
But my question is, okay, you were judging it and you were hosting the show, but and I see that what's your co-host name? Or maybe all of you were like you're holding a blunt or you're smoking, right?
Or joint, yes.
Yeah, joint. A blunt is a big one.
Yeah.
And you were judging them. Aren't your like senses affected by that? Because I feel like everything's gonna taste great.
Once you start,
because you're like everything's good.
Start eating.
All right,
yeah.
so let me simplify this question for the public that's watching. It's like, do you have the munchies?
Do you have the munchies?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
True.
I will tell you that, when you are eating this food, it's like, yes, you are feeling the effects of cannabis, but it's like you can still function. And yes, we were extremely high throughout the filming of this, but at the same
Oh
time,
my God.
we are professionals. We know exactly what we're doing, and we're able to take this and still a um, provide judgment on the food without, favoritism.
And,
Okay.
and I think Jesse, everybody kind of laughed because Dale, while in the middle of the filming and cooking in the competition, he ordered pizza.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because there's yeah, that was actually my question. Like for example, like all those let's say for example, we're invited, right? Like so we had the 5 course meal, including the wine that's infused with cannabis. Since there's already like like a let's use the term marijuana inside inside our body, of course we want to feel like we it feels like we want to eat more, we want munchies. Did you ever have that experience that all your, I mean, majority or some of your clients started asking for, is there more food? We're hungry. Like earlier, we're already full, but we want more. Did you ever had that experience?
No, that doesn't happen because,
No,
like I said,
it-
it's a 5 course curated meal. So everybody is getting courses, in a certain
Ooh.
time interval. So nobody is ever getting the munchies. It's like
Is
maybe
that
by the time they get home, they have that effect, and there's a
Yes.
nice giveaway that we give them where they can have some more. But no, we don't have anything.
that's good because it's like it's calculated, it's measured. It's
Exactly.
everything is thought of.
Exactly.
It's not just okay. We're gonna put oh, by the way, my question is, I'm hearing about CBD and HCT. Can you tell
What
us
what's
what's the difference, or are they different?
I can tell you about THC, not HTC.
Oh, so THC.
THC, CBD. So THC is a psychoactive element in cannabis. That's what makes you
Okay.
feel, happy and, euphoric. CBD is the anti-inflammatory painkiller medicine in the plant. So they work hand in
Oh.
hand, right?
Okay.
THC can be dialed up with CBD. CBD can be dialed up with THC. CBD can also counteract the effect of THC. So
Oh.
our bodies are designed with an endocannabinoid system. It is meant to process this plant. And there's a lot of medicine that we still haven't realized comes from this plant that can take away all the medicina, all the stuff that everybody else is taking. Those pills that our parents are taking for, diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, can all be controlled with this plant without the side effects of the medicine that we're getting from big pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, okay. But wait, those two are. Is it the same? Oh, that's the reason why it's not legal. Do they have? Do this? Wait, they came from the same plant. I'm sorry. I'm when it comes
Yeah, they
to
come from the same plant.
yeah, I'm oblivious. So what's the difference? Like if they came from the same plant, like so how can they be different?
I think they separate it. I don't
Like
know.
what's the right? Like why is it so different? Why is there a CBD and the other one is, I'm sorry, what's the name?
CBD and THC.
CHC. Like how come there's a difference? Like if it came from the same plant. I'll be honest with you, I'm so oblivious when it comes to that. That's why I'm asking this question.
Okay,
Like
well
why is there a difference? Yes.
let me simplify it for you. Let's talk about sugar. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sugar, you can get glucose, sucrose, regular sugar. There's different formats of sugar that can be used as sweeteners. You can get sweeteners from plants. Same plants that you're using for anti-anxiety or pain medication, you can extract sweeteners from the plant as well. This is one plant that has tons of cannabinoids, or what people, or terpenes, which terpenes are something that you'll find in many different varieties of vegetables and plants. Right? The terpenes are the flavor profile. So you might get a cannabis strain that has a high citrus terpene called myrcene, right? And you can derive all these different things from one plant, very much like opioids, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like
You're
there's
right.
many different formats of opioids that all come from one source.
Oh, okay. I got it. And do you think like eventually that cannabis, in food or medicine wise, do you think it will be legalized in most of the states in the US, especially in New York and New
I
Jersey?
think, yeah, I think that it will. Very much, alcohol was in a pre-ambition stage where,
You're right.
it wasn't legal because you had all these speakeasies that were selling it. And once the governments figured out how they can tax it and make their money off of it and regulate it, it became legal. And I think that we are in that phase where we need to figure out how that's going to happen when it comes to cannabis.
Yeah, New York City is waiting.
I know.
Yes, we are.
And what's so funny is that you just walk, I go down my apartment, you just walk and you can sniff it. And it's like, it's still not legal here.
It's a great way to make friends.
I know, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's fun. But have you been to Amsterdam?
I have never been to Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. I'm sure if you, oh my God, you've been there, right? Like you'll be everywhere. You'll probably be like, oh my God, this is. But you know what? There's what's that? JV, what's the name of the place that we went? I bought a chocolates. I bought cookies.
Oh, in Florence, in Italy.
In Florence, in it's what's the name of the yeah, because when we went to Italy, I purchased like a lot. Like, but the thing is, you cannot bring it back here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the candies and all this.
It's
like,
chocolate, everything.
With chocolates and no, I bought the chocolates. I brought it here, but you're not supposed to open it. They said that the candies you're not supposed to. It's like hopefully, like, do you have plans of doing that here? Like eventually, did you guys?
Where there's a will, there's a way. That's all
I
can say.
Yeah.
Eventually, when it becomes legal in New York City, yes, we will go ahead and start producing product here.
I'm sure. Like I can. Oh my
The
God,
possibility is endless. You can do anything, right?
Definitely.
Well,
But you know what? There's one person who asked here. Chrissy asked. Actually, where's Chrissy?
Chrissy
Okay.
is from Australia, right?
Yeah, Chrissy. Okay. Actually, there's one question that's what actually my next question is. Is she's asking is most of the chef are swearing like Chef Gordon Ramsay. My partner is third year apprentice now, and he's like Gordon Ramsay. Okay, is it like
Because her partner is swearing right now.
Yeah, and then after that, the question is, what type of like a chef are you to your colleagues? Are you the type of person that the boss that like, come on, or the type of like the nurturing one? So
I am a cross in between. It's like there's no more cursing in the kitchen. It's like no, chefs are not like Gordon Ramsay all over the world. That is,
okay.
That's TV. It's like we live in an era where that might have been the norm many years ago, but in this day and age, it's like you treat people with respect, right? Because people that respect you will work harder for you than people that you belittle and insult.
That's so good.
And I feel like if you're a cannabis connoisseur chef, I don't think you're going to be shouting. You'll be like steady. Chill.
Hey, wait a second.
I love you, man. Yeah. I don't think there's any shouting in there. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm sure you'll be like probably okay. Sure, don't worry about it. Make sure that. Oh my God. And by the way, congratulations, because like you're gonna be a father very soon, right?
Yeah,
a father very soon in September. My God, like, so is it going to be a boy or a girl?
Oh, we don't know what we're having yet, so we're waiting for that. It is life's final surprise. We will know when the baby is born.
Oh wow, that's woo! I want to know. Like definitely, I'm sure I would stalk on your Facebook. It'll be
and Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about, do you have any plans of like having your own restaurant very soon? Restaurant or restaurants and like anytime soon?
Absolutely. What I did for Filipino cuisine and, really trying to bridge that gap between cultures. I want to do the same thing with Dominican food. So right now, what I'm working on is a Dominican restaurant, which was in the works pre-COVID, but
Okay.
post-COVID, it will definitely come to fruition. But yeah, in New York City, you will see a new style of Dominican restaurant.
What about Filipino? So you will not infuse Filipino there too? Like adobo, ala Dominicano, like
I'm sure it's gonna come out.
Hey, you know what? There might be some influence in Filipino food and Dominican food, but
Exactly.
jeepney is still there, and
Yes,
everybody can still go and support it. Which
yes.
we highly encourage people to do. But once you're done there, come and see what we're doing with Dominican food, and you can see the similarities between the cultures.
Oh my God, I'm dying to know. Wait, what's it? Do you have any favorite Filipino food? Because I'm sure you've cooked pretty much everything.
Can you just
So
mention? Would you be able to
yeah,
mention one? I don't think so.
and also one Filipino food and one Dominican food.
Okay.
If you're on a death row,
Yeah, I know. What would you
Sisig.
eat? Oh my
what?
favorite.
Sisig na baboy.
Oh,
Nababo. Oh my God,
Huh?
that's our favorite too.
Okay. And it's like I'm telling you that this sisig, the best one that you guys have in the Philippines, is cloud tayag version of sisig. Okay.
Oh,
If
what
you
is
don't
it?
know who cloud tayag, Jake,
okay. I'm sorry.
I'm taking your Filipino card.
Cloud
I'm not,
time.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
drinking.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
is the sisig that you want the crunchy sisig? Because that's what I want, and then there's a whole egg on top.
Okay. Of course, it's going to be a whole egg on top, right?
Oh
You
my
need that,
God.
but no mayonnaise. Okay.
No
No mayonnaise.
mayonnaise,
Oh,
no mayonnaise. No
Ah, see, I
mayonnaise.
saw the look in your face. You like the mayonnaise.
I know.
you know, I like with or without, so don't judge.
That's
Okay.
it.
I don't
Exactly.
judge.
Oh my
All right.
God. What
But
about wait?
yeah,
What
but
about Phil?
you don't need the star margarine in it. Okay.
Oh, no,
Exactly.
no.
Oh,
Oh, well, I know.
the star margarine. Oh
This,
my God.
it makes you
You
grow.
never know. What about any Dominican food? If your favorite Dominican food, that
My
actually that yes,
I will run to the ends of the earth if somebody is making lambi, right? And
lambi.
lambi is typical Dominican dish that's only served in special occasions. It is conch, right? So that
A
conch
skunk?
shell that you blow in,
Oh, the conch. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the
the conch,
conch. Okay, okay,
right?
okay.
It's like my mother makes it in a way that I swear to God will make you fall in love with the first person that you see. Doesn't matter what his gender is. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I
really?
want to cook that a lot and serve it to everyone. Oh, not the girls, but the guys. Okay.
Not the girls. Oh my God, definitely, definitely. We will try that one.
Aphrodisiac 101.
Yeah, it is an aphrodisiac, just like chocolates, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
let me just digress. I just want to know how is it working with Be Real of Cypress Hill? Because you know what, he's my crush when I was younger.
Oh, come on. Be Real is one, not only an amazing person, but also somebody that I looked up to. And for me, first time I saw him, it's like, you don't know how to react. You're just like, okay, it's like, here's Be Real. It's like, hi, you're very shy and everything, but Be Real and both Vanessa Lavorado, both amazing individuals who are just human. Their job just happens to be that they're on screen and they have to deal with the public, but incredible individuals to work with.
Wait, what about Jokoy? Because
Ah,
Jokoy
come on,
brings
Joe
Maharlika
Coy.
and,
He-
and Jeepney. Oh my God,
Okay.
he's a good friend. Like wait, he's a good friend. Like how is he? Because I know I've seen a couple of videos that he went to Jeepney and started Jeepney or Maharlika. I know Jeepney. He started eating the arroz caldo, like different types of food, and
Yeah,
the caldereta.
he's been to both restaurants, and Joe Coy is an amazing human as well. Really nice guy. Some people say he's funny.
Everyone is funny. Oh,
I know, right? Some people say it's fun.
But a
Oh,
really stand-up guy, and he loves Filipino food. He loves his culture. He's really pushed to just let people know that who Filipinos are. Great guy. Great guy.
Oh my God.
Because Jesse has been following his career ever since. How many years
Since he was
ago?
not even that huge, I was just like,
You have
I know.
pictures with
But-
you grew up together.
Oh my
So
God.
you and Joey.
It's like, if I see him, I'm like, Joko, do you know that I'm not so sure? I know you don't know, but I know. Like, we grew up together. Look, since you were just like, you don't have wrinkles and you started growing older. Look, we have pictures together. I have proof. Just kidding. Oh my God. So, wait, is there? I know it's almost like, oh my God, your wife must probably like, hey, I'm pregnant. We have to go to sleep.
I just
Yes.
texted you. I gotta go soon. Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So you know what? Yes. Do you have any message, and do you want to plug anything? Message to your fans. Like that. Where can they find you? How can they reach out to you? And what would they expect from Mr. Miguel
Yes.
Trinidad from
Well,
Chef Trinidad?
To everybody who's watching, it's like
Yes.
follow me on Chef Migs NYC on Instagram, on 99th Floor on Instagram, and see what we're putting out. There's a lot of events that are going to come up post COVID. There's a restaurant, Dominican food that I'm working on. There's a lot of projects, both online and offline, that I'm working on. And I just want to thank everybody, Filipino community and every community alike, for the support that I have received, cooking Filipino food and cooking other food. Thank you guys so much for having me on today. This was such a great
it's an honor.
experience.
Thank you for representing and empowering Filipino food in New York
Yes,
City.
thank you so
Because
much.
honestly, it's not really represented a lot, but I'm happy that there's Jeepney and Maharlika, and
Aside from that,
Filipino food. I know you believe that it's very underrated, and we need more of it.
yes,
so-
because of you, Miguel, Chef Miguel, like you put Filipino food into the map, especially
On the
international
map, yeah.
cuisine on the map, especially in New York City, because during that time, Filipino food, like they barely, non-Filipinos barely know Filipino food, but because of your talent, of the was it you infuse Dominican and Filipino food into one. That's why it's so special right now. Thank you so much.
I did not do it alone.
I know. I mean, of course, and with the help of your
Thank you for being
colleagues.
part of it. And
Yes.
and we'll be waiting for that 99th floor invite. Thank you.
Please.
Yes, sir. We will have it for you. Okay.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Chili, so much. Thank you so much.
Ching,
Yes.
Thank you.
Ching ching.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Go.
We're gonna do our obligatory toasting at the end. Everyone's listening and as a podcast and watching us right now in the Philippines, in the US, and all over the world. Thank you again, and of course, thank you, Chef Miguel Trinidad, for inspiring us and making us hungry. Now everybody has the munchies.
I'm
Even if
hungry.
you didn't do that, yes. And again, guys, we'll see you again tomorrow. This has been Over a Glass or Two. Thank you. Bye, Chef Miguel.
Hello.
Bye, Chef.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, guys. Thank you for listening.